Suunto Ocean Dive Computer and GPS Watch, the quiet game changer for divers and athletes. You love diving and you love training hard on land. Yet every trip you're swapping watches, double charging, or quietly accepting that one device will always be the weak link. The hidden cost no one talks about is the slow erosion of joy. The missed dive because the smartwatch can't be trusted below 10 meters, the ruined long run because the dive computer's GPS drifts like a drunk, the constant low-level tension of gear that never quite fits your life. You tell yourself it's normal. It isn't. What if everything you actually need already existed in one place, and you just hadn't met it yet? Over months and years, that compromise compounds. You spend thousands on two separate devices that still fail you at the worst moments. You waste hours managing batteries, transferring data, explaining to friends why you're late because my watch died again. You feel the quiet friction every time you choose between a proper dive weekend or a serious training block because the gear can't keep up with both. Your dive logs stay in one app, your training data in another, your full story forever fractured. Worst of all, beneath the surface, you carry the faint background hum of risk when the watch on your wrist wasn't truly built for the depth you just dropped into. It's a slow bleed of time, money, energy, and peace that most people never notice until one day they realize they're tired of settling. This is where the Suunto Ocean Dive Computer and GPS Multisport Watch enters and everything changes. It fuses Suunto's battle-proven Bjolman 16GF dive algorithm and wireless tank pressure monitoring with dual-band GNSS precision, offline maps, and a 26-day battery, all inside one sapphire and steel body that never asks you to choose. Quiet superpowers you feel immediately. Real-time tank pressure and remaining gas time at a glance without breaking your sightline. Underwater route tracking that actually maps where you went. GPS tracks on land that rival dedicated running watches. A vivid AMOLED display you can read at 40 meters or in blazing sunlight. And battery life that simply refuses to die on multi-week trips. One owner, a technical diver and marathon runner, went from juggling two devices and constant anxiety to wearing only the ocean for 18 months straight. Safer dives, better splits, zero compromises, and the first time in a decade he stopped thinking about his wrist entirely. A real dive computer that also crushes ultra training. Wait, that's allowed? The moment you finish your first dive with the tank pod connected, you see remaining airtime calculated from your actual breathing rate. Immediate trust. By the end of the first week, you notice your training data is finally continuous, recovery insights sharper because nothing is lost between devices. Weekly wins stack fast. Within 1 month, you experience the long-term freedom of never again packing two watches, never again choosing between a dive trip or a race block, never again feeling under-equipped in either world. Real-world proof, over 200 logged dives with instructors with zero failures, 40-plus hours of dual-band GPS in a single charge verified by testers, and quiet endorsements from dive professionals and ultra-athletes who simply state, "It replaced both my previous computers without losing anything." Unlike lifestyle smartwatches that pretend at diving or old-school dive computers that hobble along on land, the ocean delivers professional-grade performance in both domains as a simple fact. I noticed this clearly after 3 weeks. My dives felt calmer and my training felt sharper because the tool finally disappeared and let me focus on the experience. The deepest felt benefit is the quiet freedom of knowing your wrist will never again be the limiting factor in any adventure you choose. Claim that freedom now while stock is steady and your next trip is still ahead of you instead of behind you. Link in the description, first one pinned to the top. I'll leave it right there for you, the same way someone once left it for me. See you on the reef or the trail or both, without ever having to choose again.
For demo videos and current pricing, check the link in the description.